think about what would happen if we had a world without the arts. The arts connect us to history. The first known glazed piece of clay is dated 3000 BC. So what we do today makes us sisters and brothers of those people who were working with clay or fiber. Painters, people who draw, we're all connected through that line of making things with our hands. And it's a history that we can't let go. So what we're going to do is make tea bowls, make pinch pots or little slab things. I am discovering that your art periods are really not very long at all, so get to work. If you want to make a pinch pot, probably the thing to do first is to form it into a ball.
It's very interesting to see the variety of forms that are already coming out at such an early stage. And I'm very impressed with how quickly they're jumping in and getting their ideas started. I think all the natural objects that Kate brought in really were a great inspiration, even if they weren't using them to directly press into the clay. Just as inspiration, such a nice connection to the Raku process, which is so natural.
I am beyond impressed. They're so quiet and very much into this. They're doing a great job right off the bat, just as Mrs. Murphy had said. They're not wasting any time, and they really seem to be enjoying it. And each one is as different of a form as their personalities are. It's just amazing.
Something might come out of this that even though you say to yourself, oh, it's just a simple pinch pot, you say, well, let's see, what can I do to expand this idea into a larger context? One of the things that is important in any making with clay is to keep all of the clay roughly the same thickness, because otherwise you can have unfortunate accidents in the kilns. Something like this is fine. It's not going to fall off. If it were sticking way out, it would be at risk. And you can make things with it, but you can't make it do something. You have to work with it. You have to learn to coexist with it.
Every year, Riska has a theme, and that's another reason why we chose to do Raku, because it was just perfect for what we do here at the high school, but also to align and to, explore the GSC of cultural context.
Raku firing, in fact, connects us to a very specific moment in the arts, if you will. It takes us to 16th century Japan, to a point where Japan as a culture was morphing from a more militaristic culture to a more, as we might say it, Zen culture, wanting to appreciate that which was small, that which was unique, that which was contributed to our inner sensitivity, to our spiritual sensitivities. And one of the ways they came to do this was through something called the tea ceremony. It had a specific form. It had a tea master who orchestrated the ceremony, who did the appropriate Japanese prayers for inner strength, took the powdered tea and with a ritual instrument stirred it into the water which had been heated on a brazier. And it was served in tea bowls, each of which had been made by hand by the potters of Japan. And parts of the tea ceremony was considering every aspect of the pot.
It's really important that students have the opportunity to practice decision-making skills, and when someone like Kate comes in and presents and shows you a new technique or introduces you to a new type of artwork, to then have the opportunity to delve right in and try it out for yourself. That's a really important opportunity for young people, because it's the way to gain self-confidence ultimately, to know that you can make a decision, follow through, problem solve, and have something special at the end.
It's great because it tells me that there are people in the world who really care about life and care about what they do and how they do it, and use their brains and their hands and their imaginations to make things. And that will translate into going out into the world and using their hands and their brains and their imaginations to make things better and solve problems in the world. Plus, we will have a whole new history of wonderful art.
And art it's something you can change. It's something that transcends through not just today or tomorrow. You can use it whenever you want. Whereas history is just history. It's just that, and there's nothing that can be changed about it. Whereas art, you can take an old picture and then over a number of years you can change anything about it and it'll still be beautiful, and that's what art is.
It's amazing to me that Raku is such a relevant contemporary art form when its roots are so specific to Japanese culture.
What makes Raku firing totally different from the firing, say, in your electric kiln here is that it's a two-phase firing. The propane brings the kiln up to temperature, which is about anywhere between 16 to 1800 degrees. And as you all know, fire needs oxygen, so the propane fire is an oxidizing fire. It uses oxygen. The second element is that we take the pots out of the kiln when they are literally orange red hot, grab them with the tongs, grab it and put it into a second barrel, which is filled with shavings, shredded paper, hay, what have you, things that burn, and put the top on. And the minute you put the top on, you quench the air in the barrel. You get instead an atmosphere which is composed a lot of carbon monoxide. Because you've put pots in that are hot and they've started to flame, the barrel and the reduction materials want oxygen, and the way they get it is they pull the oxygen molecules out of the metallic oxides that have been used in the glazes.
It was interesting because, you know, she knows what she's doing, and obviously she knows what she's doing, but it's just she knows exactly what to do. She was able to explain to us in such great detail exactly what we were doing. She told us, well, this color will turn into this color. She had everything ready for us.
And she explained really well that when you're working in a Raku firing, the fire is part of that recipe. And so in a way, you can't fully count on what your results are going to be the way you can in a controlled environment like we have in the art wing with an electric kiln and store-bought glazes, you know, that are predictable, and you can pretty much count on what kind of effect you're going to get. Here there's something magical about the reaction of the reduction materials and the fire itself.
Because we put an extra shelf on, the pots on the top did not fire enough, so we will refire them in the next kiln, and
you can leave them right on there, right?
So which barrel? Yeah. Well, no, let's take that shelf off.
The small one or the large one?
the important parts about having Kate here is the excitement that it breeds throughout the school. We had one of our esteemed chemistry teachers, Kelly Moreau, come and work side by side with the students and ask chemistry-related questions of Kate, and that really made that aspect, that art-science connection, which is so strong, made it come alive for all of us. I think having teachers and administrators show that level of interest and participate in the process, it emphasizes the importance and the validity of this kind of event. So students are looking at Raku pottery in our upcoming field trip, and you know that they're going to bring a different level of appreciation because they've actually engaged in the process. Huge difference.
I say it's a privilege because you really don't get to see this much, and it's a nice day out to see this, you know. Every artist will tell you nothing can be done 100%, which is just mere impossible, because there's no such thing as perfect in this world. There really isn't.
And we can't let go of the fact that the arts, working in the arts, whether you're working with clay and you have a piece that you don't like and you look at it and your mind and your fingers start working with it to make it something you like, that's problem solving. Having a painting where you don't like some aspect of it and you go back into that and fix it, that's the kind of problem solving that God knows we need in this world today, because there's an awful lot of problems that need to be solved. And everybody in their very short-sighted way thinks, oh, well, the arts, why should we pay for them? Well, because they are much of what makes us human, and they are much of what keeps us problem solving, and much of what keeps us connected to the whole world.